Welcome to the CondoVultures.com podcast with your host, Peter Zalewski, a Miami real estate broker, Wall Street consultant, and expert witness. This podcast is focused on identifying real estate buying opportunities in the South Florida condo market of Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. The CondoVultures.com podcast is not authorized by the South Florida real estate industry and will most likely annoy many of the region's talking heads. This podcast will feature straight talk and salty language that could be offensive to some. Please remember that past investment success does not determine future gains, especially in South Florida's volatile condo market. For more information, please visit CondoVultures.com.
Welcome back to the Miami Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm your host, Peter Zalewski. Again, now we're going to talk about the distress market. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. Now, when you're talking distress, there's basically two forms of distress where you have a realtor or someone with a real estate license involved. These two forms are something called as real estate owned, which is typically a property that a bank has already taken possession of through a foreclosure, and or a short sale. Short sale is a property where the buyer of the property who takes on a mortgage typically has to sell the property for less than what is owed. So in other words, they come up short. So let me make it even a little easier. Typically, if someone is in trouble with a property and they have a mortgage, the first step they will try to do is to do a short sale. Try to get the bank to consider selling the property or allowing the sale of the property for less than what's actually owed instead of going through the foreclosure process. Now, if a short sale does not work, and a lot of times they don't because it's a long drawn out process where the bank wants a particular seller to bring in as many offers as possible. And depending on the market conditions, depending on the lender, that lender may or may not be willing to take less than what they're owed out of the mortgage. So if that doesn't happen, then typically foreclosure process begins. By the time it runs its way through the system, the bank ends up with it. They then turn around and they sell it. And that's called the REO. So what we're going to talk about for this distress market is we're going to talk about short sales first, and then we'll talk about the real estate owned and or REO type of product. So what do we got going on in South Florida in terms of short sales? Well, there's only 16 short sales currently listed on the market. 16. What's the average asking price per door for one of these units? About $283,000 a door. Average asking price per foot, about $241 a foot. So if you listen to what I was saying in terms of the overall condo market as well as the luxury condo market, you can see these short sales are mighty attractive. Now, the short sales that are on the market, they've been there an average of 80 days. Now, in pendings, 18 short sales are currently pending. They're under contract at an average asking price, $207,000 per door, 207. And then price per foot is coming into about $207 a foot. Been on the market at an average of 142 days. And then finally, the transactions. First 9 months of the year, we've had 45 short sales to close. Now, it's not a big number, but if you are successful in taking on one of these short sales or distress units, you have an opportunity or a situation where you probably are going to enjoy some riches as we go forward if inflation continues and other things continue to sort of increase in price. So 45 deals traded, short sale deals, condos traded, first 9 months of the year, January through September. Traded an average price of $226,200 a door, $226,200 per door. And on a price per square foot basis, about $223 a foot is what these short sales traded for. And they traded typically on average about 82 days. 82 days, difference between the average asking price and the average transaction price on a per door basis, about 25%. Remember what I told you, 20%, it starts to get interesting. They typically trade 10 to 15% difference between the average asking price and the average transaction price. Now, what is that on a per square foot basis? 8%. So those properties that are listed for sale are listed only 8% higher on average than what they actually trade for. Why? Because a short sale dealer or situation needs to bring in buyers so the bank can then take a look at all the offers and make a decision. Therefore, it has to be priced appropriately. Then finally, days on market, as mentioned, 82 days is how long it typically took for a short sale versus today, those properties that are for sale, they've been as short sales, they've been there 80 days. Now, we have about an average of 5 short sales trading per month in South Florida through the first 9 months of the year. And if you take that 5-month sales pace and you divide it into what's currently available, which is 16, you're going to come up with about 3 months of supply. 3 months of supply, which, as mentioned, 6 months is equilibrium. Anything greater than 6 months in terms of supply means it's the buyer market. Anything less makes it a seller's market. So based on 3.2 months of supply of short sales, we are in a seller's market. seller's market. Now, let's go ahead and we'll flip over to real estate owned, or REO. You might have heard that term again. What it means is the bank's actually taking title, or the lender's taking title, and now they're looking to sell the property and recoup some of the money that was lost during the foreclosure. Currently, 63 condos are listed as real estate owned, or REOs, in South Florida. Average asking price, just under $371,000 per door, $371 per door. On a price per square foot basis, we're looking at $340 a foot, $340 a foot. They've been on the market an average of 59 days, 59 days. Now, in terms of units under contract, 44 REOs are under contract in South Florida. Average asking price of those units under contract, just under $262,600. $262,600 is the average asking price for those units which are under contract. Average asking price per foot, $211 a foot, $211 a foot. In 57 days is how long these properties been on the market on average. And then finally, first 9 months of 2022, those REOs, or real estate owns, or bank-owned properties, whatever you want to call it, that traded in the first 9 months of the year, just under 300 of them have traded an average price of $276,000 each, or an average of $231 per square foot. And finally, they were on the market only 35 days. So again, properly priced product will go under contract and be gobbled up relatively quickly. Places that are more expensive or inappropriately priced, they're going to sit on the market a little bit longer. Now, in terms of differences in asking price versus sales price, on a price per door basis, the REOs are about 34% higher than what places trade for on average. On a price per foot basis, about 47% higher. So there's a good example where if you're looking at price per door rather than price per square foot, you might think you're getting yourself a good deal because it traded for $300,000 a door, versus on a price per square foot basis, you might actually be overpaying. Just like some of the shenanigans and tricks that are played when you're buying anything in the grocery store or elsewhere. This is a good way to keep track of it. And then finally, at days on the market, those real estate owned that traded, again, they trade in 35 days. The ones that are currently on the market today listed, they've been there 59 days. So you can see they're priced to the point where some of your would-be buyers, they're not pulling the trigger and moving on it quickly, which to me would suggest that the pricing is a little bit out of whack. Now, 33 units moved per month in the first 9 months of the year, which are real estate owned, or REO, or bank-owned property. And if you take those 33 units which traded, divided what's currently on the market, which is 63, you're going to come up with just under 2 months of supply. So this is a seller's market for distressed condos.
It's a simple formula, and it works. Buy low, sell high. We're Condo Vultures, and when it comes to your real estate, we help you buy low. At Condo Vultures, we represent the buyer, and now's the time to buy. Log on to condovultures.com for more information. condovultures.com. And remember, before you sell high, you have to buy low. Featured in the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, 60 Minutes, and Time Magazine. Condo Vultures Realty, a licensed Florida real estate brokerage capitalizing on the condo correction since 2006.